Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she will never get her late mom's jewelry if she doesn't change? I will try to keep this short. My wife passed 3 years ago and she owned really expensive jewelry. In total I would think it cost more than 100,000. A lot is passed down and she would save for years to buy an expensive piece. My daughter, 27, is bad with money. She works with commissions, so her cash flow is different each month. One month she makes a ton and the next she is broke and sells what she bought last month. She will spend all her money and then have to sell to make ends meet next month. I have tried to get her to be responsible with money, but she is an adult and there isn't much I can do. I have watched this dance for years. She called me up and asks when she can take her mom's jewelry. I told her I would prefer to keep it at my home. This started an argument about how I am not using it. I told her she will never get her jewelry unless she changes. That I would prefer to keep it in a box then let her sell it when she fucks up her money again. She called me a jerk and my wife's family is getting involved. Edit: since it was asked a lot, everything went to me when she passed. Daughter has no claim on them and I would hand them over if she wouldn't sell them. Not the asshole as per your earlier comment, it's all in your name. You have every right to have your say. I'm sure there is a lot of sentiment attached to your wife's jewelry and your daughter doesn't appear to be, at least presently, the type to appreciate it for what it is. Don't let anyone persuade you otherwise. If your daughter gets her hands on any of it, it's going to be gone and sitting in a pawn shop somewhere. Strongly suggest you keep it somewhere protected, maybe a safety deposit box. Edit: since it was asked a lot, everything went to me when she passed. Daughter has no claim on them and I would hand them over if she wouldn't sell them. Sound like she's definitely going to sell them. It also sounds like she's never going to change, so don't give them to her unless you realize she's going to sell them. Not the asshole. Not the asshole that jewelry will be gone in a month. The fact that she said you're not using it implies she intends to make use of it. Those items are to be kept, not sold. When she learns it's not about the money, then we can talk. Not the asshole. She'll just sell the jewelry, it's her go-to move. She'll blow through the money and the jewelry will be gone as well. She may never be responsible enough for you to pass it on to her. Not the asshole. The jewelry clearly has meaning to you, and your daughter has proven to be a liability. I view this the same as if she was an addict. She'll likely plan or sell the jewelry regardless of how you feel. It's also a substantial gift to give. Tell her the jewelry can be hers when you pass for the time being, but regardless of if it's being used or not, it's yours to do with however you see fit. You're absolutely correct by not giving it to your daughter. Please do not cave into outside pressure. The odds of her selling your wife's sentimental jewelry are pretty high. Is she your only child? I would wait and see if she finally grows up and takes her financial responsibility seriously. If not, I would give the jewelry to any future grandchildren. Info: were the pieces specifically willed to her by her mother, or is she just expecting to inherit them? While yes, it's safe to assume you'll inherit your parents' belongings, it's never a guarantee. And if they weren't willed to her specifically, then technically they're yours and they will go to her when you pass, should you not will them to anyone else. Keep it so that you may someday give it to a granddaughter. Not the asshole. ETA: maybe give her the cheapest piece or piece your wife liked least. Tell her you are giving it to her to use, not to own. Then let her sell it and prove herself incapable of holding on to the item. Maybe I'm crazy, but I would get a fake replica made of ONE and give it to her. See how long she lasts before she starts calling about how she tried to sell it and it's fake. Not the asshole. You have good reason to believe she would sell them based on her current financial situation. Maybe tell her that you will pass them on slowly at different life events, marriage, birth, etc., or that she will receive them when you pass. Not the asshole. Your daughter would 100% sell the jewelry. Don't let her know where it is. Keep it locked up. Not the asshole. I have read your comments and, since you were the one that inherit them, they are yours and you have every right to decide what to do with them. If it is keep them locked in a safe, then so be it. Your daughter has no claim. For what you say, she will sell them as soon as she needs money. This even knowing that for you, it is clear they have sentimental value. It doesn't matter what anybody else have to say, it is your decision and that should be the end of it. Absolutely not, you're her father. You're supposed to be teaching and protecting her. If you feel like she's gonna sell it, then keep it until she proves to you otherwise. If she gets mad, well, that's part of being a dad. Not the asshole, she only wants it to sell it. If she ever gets her life together, she'll regret selling the jewelry. Keep hanging on to it. Not the asshole. There's no question why she wants that jewelry. Info: did your wife leave a will giving the jewelry to your daughter? Not the asshole. Protecting family pieces and your wife's legacy is important to you as it was to her. Decide now how to distribute the jewelry and please get a will made to that effect and be very explicit about it not going to your daughter and in favor of other recipients as the alternative. Your wife's family may have some grief and feel that she would have wanted this, but you knew her best at the time she passed. Choose heirs from her side of the family. 27 is still young enough that daughter could change, so be open to changing your position too. Not the asshole. Make copies of jewelry and give copies of your daughter. Nope. Not the asshole. You know that she wants it to sell it. I would just bypass her completely and gift it to a grandchild. I'd give her a couple of fakes and see how long it takes her to sell one. Then you can say case closed. I have been a young woman just like your daughter, and I did exactly what you were afraid your daughter will do. I pawned my mother's star sapphire ring because I couldn't afford to pay my bills. This has been over 30 years ago and I still regret it to this day. Not the asshole. Until you can tell yourself comfortably and with no reservations that she will treasure and preserve that jewelry, it stays with you. Not the asshole. She spends like a drug addict. Not the asshole. If you keep it, will it to another, more sensible member of your wife's family, to do with as they wish. Not the asshole. But keep it somewhere safe, like a bank box. Ntar doesn't matter. Why should she get family heirlooms just to sell? It's like giving it to a druggie. Nope, Ntar. You are technically correct and that is the best correct to be. Absolutely not the asshole. Your daughter would just sell it. Absolutely not the asshole. Put the jewelry in a safety deposit box before it disappears. Are you sure she's not using drugs or gambling? Her relationship with money and her claim on the jewelry screams underlying reasons besides careless with money. Not the asshole, but you could get petty with this if you wanted to make a point. Like, have some cheap copies of the jewelry made and tell her you've changed your mind, but give her those. See how long it takes her to come back screaming that she found out they're worthless when she tried to sell them. Not the asshole. It's not your daughter's jewelry, it's yours and yours alone to decide what to do with. I wouldn't give it to someone either that would most certainly just squander it. Put it in a safety deposit box so it doesn't magically walk off. Not the asshole. She clearly just wants to sell them. Hand them down to someone in the family that respects the jewelry. You need to make provisions in your will as to what will be done with the jewelry. We are not guaranteed the next day of life. You could die tonight. She's still young at 27. 10 years from now she could be a different person. Not the asshole. Understandable. Maybe it will be a good wake-up call for her to get better with her finances. If you're comfortable with it, you could always create an arrangement where she can borrow pieces for very specific occasions like attending a wedding. She can wear it that day and bring it back the next. Not the asshole. It's yours to do with as